Hi, Lou and Glenn. I spoke with the victim's longtime friend, and he was obviously very saddened by this news. And he said that Amie Harwick had worked really hard on her career to finally be able to buy a home here on Mound Street. She'd only lived here for a year before this tragic ending.
Was really interested in the serial killer stuff and all the macabre things. And as an adolescent, like I would walk around with like true crime because I was always interested in human behavior.
When Dr. Amie Harwick discussed her love for crime on the Good Day La La Land morning show in 2019, she had no idea her own life would end this way. Murdered, allegedly by her ex-boyfriend, according to the LAPD. The celebrity family therapist, author, and one-time fiance of comedian Drew Carey was found gravely injured at her Hollywood Hills home early Saturday morning below a third-floor balcony. Officers had responded to a call of a woman screaming. Then her roommate told them Harwick had been assaulted. There was evidence of forced entry, a struggle upstairs, and surveillance footage showed a white male dressed in black. Police then arrested Harwick's ex-boyfriend, 41-year-old Gareth Pursehouse, later that afternoon on murder charges. Harwick's longtime friend Eric Breslow told me Amie dated Pursehouse 7 to 8 years ago, that he was obsessed with her and just couldn't move on. She'd had to file multiple restraining orders over the years and had recently run into him again. He says the system failed her.
This was a constant thing that she talked about, that, she was afraid of this particular guy, and it was always something that kind of followed her. It scared her enough to tell friends that, gee, I think I should get some mace or pepper spray.
Pursehouse is being held on $2 million bail. The next step,
Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel's all about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationships. We got a toxic one right here, don't we? What a shame. Such a beautiful lady, living her life in fear for how many years? Because of this monster right here. I'm a little sick and tired of these creeps out here. Get over it. We don't want you no more. We don't want you no more. We reject you. Get over it. Find yourself somebody else. But no, this loser decided he wants to spend 8 years of his life obsessing over her. Are you kidding me? All right, I just wanted to show you that little bit of a news clip. But today we're going to get into day 5 clip. Day 5. And we're going to watch a little bit of day 5 and everything, get a little bit more information about this. Now, if you need to know about this one, make sure you read the description so you can find out exactly what this trial is all about. All right, and don't forget, hit the like button, share me out on your social media, please. That would be so cool, and leave some feedback. And the same thing to people to replay watchers, share me out and leave some feedback. Tell me, what do you think of this trial? And also, were you ever a victim of stalking? Let me know. Or if you want to tell me personally, you can just email me. You can find my email description in the you can find my email address in the description. If you need to reach out to me, if you have a viewer's request, you need coaching and dating, love, relationship, or whatever, feel free to go from there. All right, so I'm getting ready to change. Just give me a second here. I'm going to change the next one. Now we're going to watch one clip. Now one clip we're going to watch of day 4. Now day 4, if I'm correct, this is the friend, and it's something with some sort of text message that was exchanged, but we're going to watch it together and hear what they have to say here. So just a little bit of a clip of day 4, and then we're going to get right into day 5. And when you look at this sorry piece of crap, this creep, just look at him in the court. I mean, he just, no expression, no nothing. What the heck does he be? There was something wrong from since the day he was born. I'd like to interview his mother and his father to tell me some more about, because there's something seriously wrong with him. There's something serious. Well, we know one thing. You'll never be out in the streets again. You can't be a creep no more to no other woman or nothing. Yeah, they're going to be creeping you up in that prison. All right, so welcome to Donna Just Being Real. Make sure you hit the like. Let's watch this clip.
Who else did you meet with at the Globe Theater?
It was Amie and her friend Rebecca.
Had you met Rebecca prior to that day?
That was my first time meeting her.
Were they already there when you arrived?
Yes,
Did you take any pictures while you were at the Globe Theater?
we did.
Now, if I'm correct, they're talking about that event Now, the event that she went to, I can't get it. Was it a 2 weeks before he killed her, or was it a month before he killed her? Somewhere around that time period. And I think she's talking about because she was at that event. And don't you remember, we watched the other ones, how he went crazy when he seen it, to my, you ruined my life. You ruined my life. Well, you think your life is any better now, sir? You killed her. Was it any better? Yeah, okay. You ruined your own life, you creep. All right, let's get back to it. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, the speed is on 1.5.
As People's 12A. Do you recognize this photograph, Ms. Rawls?
Yes.
Could you please identify who's in the photograph?
Amy's on the left in the light pink dress and the leather jacket. I'm sorry.
It's okay, take your time. Speak, please.
I notice every time one of her friends or a family member, somebody comes up on the stand, they always seem to start crying. This woman was loved. She was respected by a lot of people. Except this nutcase over here. Maud on deck, Jack! Let's get it.
I know her as Miss Tosh, to the right of Amy, who is a producer for the event. And that's me, with dark hair. And then to the right of me is Rebecca, who I had met that night.
Just so the record reflects, you were identifying individuals from the photograph as I was pointing to them with my finger, is that correct?
Yes.
And this is a photograph that you had taken at the Globe Theater when you met with Amie and company.
Yes, that's a photo that we took together.
Now, did you guys have any plans about your outfits for the evening?
We didn't discuss anything, but it was Valentine's Day. So
Now, do you recall any accessories that Amie was wearing that evening?
it looks like she has maybe 2 rosaries on.
I'm zooming into the photograph of 12A and I'm pointing to some necklaces that Amie is wearing. Are those necklaces that you recall her wearing on that day, those 2 rosaries?
I didn't notice them that evening, but I can see that she's wearing them.
Now, do you recall about what time you left the Globe Theater after the burlesque show?
I don't recall at this exact moment.
It was 9:15 or sound about right?
Yes,
Did you go anywhere else after the burlesque show?
we did.
And where did you guys go?
We went to Rebecca's place of work nearby, and then we also went to the Nomad Hotel to have dinner, or appetizers, I guess.
And while you were at the Nomad, did you take any photos there?
We did.
Somebody just need to walk up to him and knock him out and snap him out of it. What is wrong with him? This is what he do every day when he comes to court. This is it. This is all he does. I'm telling you, I like to know more about his history, because I know your mother, well, they might be in denial. You know, you have these parents as enablers, but they have to know there was something wrong with you. Something, even the teachers knew something wrong with you. Resume.
Now, this time around, other people are holding a photograph depicting Amie Harwick and a witness at Marcus Peoples 52. I'm showing you what's been marked as Peoples 52. Do you recognize that photograph?
I do.
Can you identify who's in the photograph?
Amy on the left, and myself on the right.
And this is a photograph that you took with Amie while at the Nomad that evening?
We took it together, yes.
Now, following your appetizers and hanging out at the Nomad, do you know about what time you left?
I'm sorry, I don't recall the exact time right now.
Now, do you know about, let's say, around midnight? Does that sound about right?
I think so.
Do you know where you went after the Nomad?
I went to my cousin's house in Echo Park. That's where I'd left my car, and then I had Ubered to the Globe, so I went to go pick up my car. from my cousin's house.
So from the Nomad Theater, you took an Uber to Echo Park,
Yes.
where your car was parked,
Yes.
and then you drove home.
Yes.
About how long would you say it took you to get from Echo Park to your house?
I don't recall right now. Probably 35 to 45 minutes.
Okay.
But once I was driving in my car.
Did you and Amie communicate in any way after you parted ways at the Nomad?
No.
Did you receive any communication from her that evening?
Yeah, I checked my phone and I had one text message from Amie. That was once I got home, so 45 minutes later when it was received or so.
This I'm holding 2 pages of text messages made out the marks collectively as equals 53A and B.
Yes.
I'm showing you what's been marked as 53A. Do you recognize these series of text messages?
I do.
And how do you recognize these text messages?
The blue ones, or all of the ones with the timestamp, are coming from my phone. I'm texting Amie. I have 80 unread texts, and she sent me a message at 1:02 a.m. asking, or telling me, send me the pics on the green couch.
So let me just break it down a little bit here. You talked about a text message in blue that I'm pointing to with my pen. Is that a text message that you sent to Amie?
Yes.
Now, there are text messages that have white writing with no kind of a blackish background. Are those text messages from Amie to you?
Yes.
Now, I'm pointing to one text message where it says, send me the pics on the green couch.
What did you say, PG? They make me sick with the bottled water. Sink water is good enough. Yeah, can we pay for it? Reason.
Marked at 1:02 a.m. Is that a text message that you received on February 15th after your Valentine's Day gathering at the Nomad from Amie?
Yes.
And I'm pointing to a photograph that we looked at earlier. Is this your response to Amie?
Yes.
And what time did you respond to her text message?
I started sending her photos at 2:05 a.m.
Now I'm showing you what's been marked as equals 53B, which appears to be just a zoomed in version of those text messages. Is that correct?
Yes.
So again, you receive a text message from Amie at 1:02, and you respond with a photograph at 2:05.
Yes.
When was the last time you spoke to Amie?
Verbally?
Yes. Or in any way, in any form.
Oh, it seems like at 1:02 a.m. was the last time she contacted me.
So is this the last communication that you received from Amie? Was at 1:02 a.m. on February 15th?
Yes.
Last time she spoke to her best friend. So that was basically when they went out for Valentine's Day. All the ladies went out for Valentine's Day. Okay, that wasn't the big gala one event that she seen the creep at. Alright, now give me a second here while I change. And we're going to get into day 5. Hold a second while I change this.
Hope you all had a pleasant evening. We are back on the record in the matter of People versus Pursehouse. All jurors are present, including the alternates, all counsel present, defendant as well. We're going to continue with Officer Fizek, whose testimony we interrupted. You can take the stand if you would, Officer. Reminder, you're still under oath. But before I do that, let me read a stipulation to you. You can actually. And I explained last time what a stipulation is. Do you all remember that? The stipulation is an agreement between counsel or among counsel regarding a fact or set of facts as having been proven by the evidence, and you're to accept them as such, all right? The stipulation reads as follows. Evidence of Amie Harwick's state of mind regarding her fear of the defendant, Gareth Pursehouse, is being admitted via Amie Harwick's email to herself and statements to friends for a limited purpose, to show that she would not have consented to him entering her home and would not have consented to him lying in wait. You may consider that evidence only for that purpose and not for any other purpose, all right? There it is. Now, the prosecution advises this court that they believe they can rest next Monday with presenting their case. The defense will call witnesses. Again, they have no burden, but they will call witnesses and so forth. And so I've just given you an update of where we stand at this point, okay? Now, you may continue. I believe you have transcripts. We left off at page 17.
New transcripts.
Yes. Page 17.
And I believe on the video, which was People's Exhibit number.
If I'm correct, this is the detective.
But we started at 20 minutes and 11 seconds, so if we play the video at this point.
Yes, you may, whenever you're ready.
Thank you.
If there's anything additional that we can try to...
I think I best slow this down. I'm going to slow it down to 1.25. Why? Oh, it was already on 1.25. No one took so long to get there. Let's just leave it here. Let's leave it on 1.25. All right, resume, ladies. Ladies and gentlemen, resume.
The biggest thing that came to my brain is she recently saw an accident that had a restraining order, I guess, and she was worried about it. When was that? A couple of weeks ago. There's a sex therapist. She's a sex therapist, okay. Where's your ID, sir? In my wallet. In this room. I don't know, dude. Something's off. That rig is what we currently do. So it hasn't been used. It hasn't been used. So she's an unused rig with. I don't know if there's anything with the camera. It looks almost like saline. Yeah, or maybe some sort of meth. Yeah, I saw you looking at that. This is weird, dude. I don't know what to think, honestly. I've never seen anything like this. Look at this. They were all upstairs, too. All of them upstairs. So this is all like some weird sex stuff. Right? Yeah. Well, look at this. This is crazy. Yeah, we can't let him go. I just don't have a... I'm gonna get him in here so I can find his ID because I need to verify him. Hey, sir, can you come in here, please? Can you find me your ID, please?
Now, the guy we talking to, if you remember last time, that is the roommate downstairs. Yeah, because she was all the way up on top. She's on the 3rd floor. So that's the roommate downstairs. So basically watching body cam. Let's get it.
Hey. How much of this is like that? Do you know where her ID's at? No, I don't. You're gonna come out? Yeah, go back outside and sit with them. Sit right there with them. Hey, partner, come out. There's a...
Moving to a new state is exciting.
Yeah, I got it. Sorry, sir. Yeah, that'd be great, actually. cleared the house. Yeah, we cleared the house. Sir, is detective coming over? He's coming over. What do you think? Yeah, super weird. And the thing with the tripping out, so when we got here, he has blue light. Yeah, that was the first thing I saw. And then we were trying to kind of fence. He's like, oh, that's not light. I'm like, well, we jumped over the other side. We didn't even let it. What? I don't like. Well, that's what he said. He said he came out this way because he heard wrestling or like he came out running this way. But sir, when we did, I jump over. I'm the first one to jump over. I don't jump over pretty easily, right? And we're starting to getting caught on. And so I was helping him get over. And he said, "All right, come on." He comes over and he looks like, "Oh my God, you're almost like that." Yeah, the third story. Yeah. 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 He said he thinks somebody had a gun. Yeah, she had seen him for two weeks. It's either right there, it's completely loaded, and it hasn't been.
So I paused it at 27 minutes and 36 seconds. There appears to be a light there in the backyard at the very top of the building, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And was that light always on while you're back there in the backyard?
Yes, sir.
And did you turn it on, or was it on by itself?
We did not turn it on.
So you don't know if it's a motion-activated light or otherwise?
Correct.
But at least while you're in the backyard, or people are in the backyard, that light was on?
Yes, sir.
They're door knocking a couple. I was just see if they heard or seen anything. No, I'm just, I just got his ID. Yeah, I'll get one of them to go. Yeah. We'll get you guys to go see. Yeah, we'll go. The FD has her ID. Okay, so we'll basically, yeah. I don't know, team, you just, I mean, there's no way to tell. But it just, no, we were both, what's up? Just sit on her. Yeah, sit on her. Yeah. If she says anything in the hospital, you know that? I say, like, what happened? I mean, if she comes to, yeah, ask her about anything. She's just weird. She's just weird as that.
I stopped it at 30 minutes and 2 seconds. Someone states she's not answering anything. Who made that statement?
Officer Edney, my partner.
Okay. And at any point, did the victim ever answer any of your questions?
No, she's not.
Did you ever hear her answer any officer's questions?
No, sir.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, we can look at He said he was going to door knock some of these. Okay. Yeah. So let me go upstairs and check her out a little bit. I bet you that cat got out. This is urine. I can tell you, it's sticky. Beads. This is urine.
All right, I stopped it at 31 minutes and 08 seconds. Now, who's saying this is urine?
I was.
Okay, can you describe to the jury what you observed at that point?
I observed a dried up puddle of yellow-like substance resembling urine.
Okay, did it appear to be recently placed there?
Objection, speculation.
Okay. Well, can you describe more the viscosity or what it appeared to you to look like?
The puddle appeared to be recently dried. It had a strong odor, not consistent with urine that had been sitting for a while. It appeared to be fresh.
Objection, foundation, and speculation.
Well, I'll allow that it appeared to be fresh to stand.
Could you smell it?
I'm trying to understand this. Did this creep go in there and just pee in her house like that? Something wrong with him. And that beautiful cat, because I was watching some stuff about her to get to know her more, and she's a cat lover like me, and she had an emotional support cat. And I wonder, I hope, someone has that baby and taking care of the baby. I just hope so. This man is a monster. All right, let's get back to it.
Yes, I could.
Was it a strong odor?
Very strong, yes.
Why would you say it was very strong?
Just because it was appeared to me to be fresh, and the odor of urine is a pungent smell that I'm sensitive to.
Okay. And the location of this urine, where exactly was it?
It was in the hallway just outside of the bathroom, or at the door of the bathroom.
And that's the hallway between the room on the right, which appears to be like a TV room, and the bedroom.
Correct.
Hey, look at that. The shower. What? Yeah. Richard.
Okay, so we have urine, we have necklaces.
And look at this, dude.
We have necklaces.
Careful.
Yeah.
Look at this. What you got with you? I think it was Granny. That's her phone. Oh, hold on. See what you're saying?
I looked over it.
Pause it right here. Now, pause it at 32 minutes and 12 seconds. Who said I flipped it over in reference to the phone?
My partner, Luke Edney.
And was that phone on the bed when you first observed it?
Yes.
And there appears to be like a handbag. Was that to the side of the bed?
It was.
Minutes ago, she got messages from Nest. Nest isn't Nest the doorbell thing? Yeah, Sharon. This looked weird at first.
That's fully loaded. Not only black beads.
These beads are from
the side. Some of the beads.
Taking what? Some of the hair?
Pause it at 33 minutes and 13 seconds. Who mentions that there's some beads out here, outside in the balcony?
My partner.
Okay, and did you see beads out there?
I did.
Did you see beads out there before you walked to that location?
Yes.
More here? Something else? Yeah, but we would have it. We would see it, right? Look at all these black beads all over the place. What's some there? Here's from that necklace that you yeah.
I'll see that 33 minutes and 40 seconds. When you're saying, look at these beads from that necklace right there, what are you talking about?
I was referring to a necklace that we had observed inside the house. I believe it was in the TV room, if my memory serves me correctly. That was broken.
And these beads look similar to the beads from that that were in the TV room.
Correct.
Okay.
I already looked inside there. It's got cards. Let me see. I didn't look in that one. FD was asking for me. How long ago do you think we got here? Wow. The messages on the nest thing show up. Probably.
If you call that, this is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it just felt weird, you know?
So like I said, I won't question it, dude. If you want to
Yeah. And so it's kind of weird. All these are open. Yeah, yeah. I didn't really look, to be honest, dude. I just got it real quick. Hey, come here. So, look, this is open.
That's another one of those wigs that are
That's a
outside.
weird hair wig. Wait a minute. Ready? It's weird, man. I don't even know.
Right now we have, that's only 97. You know, that's not.
That guy's sketchy. I'm telling you right now. Hey.
You see it?
Bro, you gotta check this.
Okay, I was thinking the same thing too. Isn't it beautiful? She has a beautiful place. And she worked hard to finally get it. She was only there for a year. And then this happened, this darn creep. Oh my gosh. And good evening. Let's resume.
Here, we're gonna look at this. Sit there. Sit there. You'll be able to get higher. Yeah.
All right,
Right here.
all right, you do some of this thing.
Here. How did this thing just break right now?
Let's just start this way.
Well, I already told him, I mean, he doesn't know. Night detective's on the way. Are you cheating with this stupid thing? Hey, let's check his room, see that.
Tired of losing money on overpriced oil to heat your home?
Are those anal beads or? Yeah. Oh, that works. Down but not out. Jesus. He's like a sex addict. Well, yeah, because she's a sex therapist. More handcuffs. Well, that right there is getting used for sure.
Did the officer just say, do you see the officer's arms? Oh my gosh, Jesus. Oh, Lord. Love a man with some beautiful biceps and triceps. All right, let's get back to it. Did you just hear what the officer said? She's a sex therapist, more handcuffs? Did you just hear that? Okay, dokie. All right, resume.
Yeah, I got you. Roger, sir. Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I mean, when we got here, we searched the entire house. You know what I mean? So, I mean, unless there's some other hidden compartment in this house.
He probably fled.
But weren't you outside?
No, I ran and left to go get the neighbors. I didn't have a phone, so I was trying to be on the door.
Right. So you were in here when you heard it, sleeping?
Yes.
And you ran out?
I just, the first time I heard the house, so I was like, oh, it must be the house or something. I wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, just, this first time I watched everything on, but then it kept on. I'm like,
what do you mean it kept on?
It kept on. So
what do you mean when you say it kept on? Like, what do you mean?
The struggle, it sounded like a struggle. Okay. And then, the first thing I was both of us are going to be dead.
Sure. And you didn't hear anybody else's voice?
I stopped it at 41 minutes and 53 seconds. So at this point, you're asking Mr. Michael Herman some questions.
Yes.
And he makes it clear that what he heard was a struggle. It sounded like a struggle.
Correct.
Anything like that? So, third floor, balcony with a flame of the rib, and she was just in the balcony at night, conscious, but reading. He was in the home, he said, you're in trouble, you guys were in here as well. There should be some right there. Yeah. He just. We both. You want to go check it out upstairs? Yeah. We searched that. You didn't go? Or you didn't go with him? I don't know. Cedar Snyder. Jesus Christ. Thanks, sweetie. Yeah. Sweet, he's on his way up.
Oh, yeah, your heart is starting to beat of yours.
Hey, that's the second time that's happened to you, huh?
No.
Oh, okay, very good. Oh, okay, it was cool. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So nobody has to do
Okay. Nobody heard anything? Oh, okay. Okay. All right, thank you. Well, and that's what we're trying to figure it out. I mean, it's hard to decipher. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody really saw anything. We're going based off what you said. If there was a struggle, but again, to get here, there's nobody there. It doesn't really look like there's a sign of struggle up there. Like I told you, there's a rig of heroin up there. Yeah.
You know, if you look at that burn back door, and they're still swinging the whole time. I'm telling you, it sounds like a struggle.
Okay.
I just didn't know how many, I just didn't want to just think.
No, I understand. Yeah. So when you ran out there, she wasn't up.
She was not out there. She was not out there. She was still upstairs yelling when I ran out.
Right. Hey, can I see your hands? Oh, okay, got it. What about this one here? Can I see your other part? Can you pull your sleeve back on this one? Right here? Oh, no, on this one right here. This one. Can you flip it for me? Can you do me a look up? Can you pull your shirt down a little bit? Sure. All right, thanks. Can you take your shirt off actually? Yeah, sure. Yeah, we saw that. That's what that's too. Hey, do you have any? Are you beefing with anybody right now, or? Yeah. How old is she? 38. 38. And you know her for a year, you said? Yeah. Have you guys ever had any sort of like relationship? Nothing like that? Gotcha. Just pretty much friends, even as roommates? Yeah.
I lived with her until her best friend was down. So they were best friends. I lived with her for over a year. So I was maybe ever had.
Right.
She goes, well, you know, I'm a single girl, no pod.
Sure.
She had a good place, you know, herself.
Was it? Yeah, I got it right. I haven't yet.
I do probably develop sex stories. She's a sex therapist. I develop sex stories and stuff. So I've got, I'd say, right? I'm working on a combination.
Pause it out. 48 minutes and 50 seconds. Now, where it says here, I believe your partner's saying he's calling it night detective. What does that mean?
I would say casual, comfy, and colorful.
At that point, we determined that it needed to be a crime scene. So, in an effort to assist with the crime scene, we contacted the night watch detective that's at the station to assist with that.
Okay, and would they take over the investigation once they arrive?
Correct, yes.
Okay.
So he freaked out because he heard scrubbing, he heard her screaming. He thought that whoever was here, he thought somebody else was here. And he didn't want to die, so he runs out. He runs out, goes around this way, jumps that fence. It's like it's got the spikes in it, and that's how we got that. Yeah, but he's got, I look underneath, he's got like stabbed or something.
She has no wings on her.
I look for like this. Yeah, she doesn't have that either, other than that.
Nothing like that.
But he doesn't have any like this. Yeah.
So, I don't know. Drones, I'm sure.
They said he's completely so simple. He's going to be. Really, really. How did you see that? It's weird. And then, yeah, I've already stepped on it 3 times by accident. There's like 3 or 4 more of those upstairs in her closet. He comes down. Some sort of upper. Yeah. The detectives come here. We had to hop the fence too.
Was that female cop over there texting? Are you serious? This is a crime scene. Someone just got pushed off the balcony. We know who did it. And she's over there texting? Okay. I don't know, whoever watched this, she should be on suspension. Reason...
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Yes, may I have a moment to discuss? Sure.
Good morning, Officer Fisek.
Morning.
Remind me, how many years have you been with the department?
Currently 5.5.
And you were trained how to write police reports, right?
Yes, sir.
And you were trained on the importance of writing police reports.
Yes, sir.
It's incredibly crucial to include all of the significant facts in your police as part of your police report, right?
Yes, sir.
It's incredibly crucial to include all of the significant facts that witnesses told you in your police report.
Objection. Argumentative to incredibly crucial.
Yes, sir.
Especially for officers who are the first officers on the scene, it's very important to document your first impressions.
Correct.
The very beginning of an investigation is an incredibly important part of an investigation.
Yes.
Now, on a serious case like this, your report can be relevant to the detectives in their investigation.
Section argumentative and asking to speculate.
It's a question. Is that correct?
Is that
what
correct?
you're asking?
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes, it is.
And your report can be relevant to whether prosecutors file a case.
Section calling for speculation.
Do you know, officer?
Yes.
Did you know?
I do.
Okay. And would it be relevant?
Yes, it would be.
Okay.
And sometimes it can be relevant in how it affects jurors, and how it would affect jurors' thoughts about a case.
Objection calling for speculation.
So it's the same.
All right. You wrote a report in this case.
Yes.
And you wrote it at a time when the events were fresh in your mind.
Correct.
And, you know, in line with your training, you included all of the important facts from your response to the call.
Yes.
You included all of the important observations you made in the house.
Yes.
You included all relevant important observations you made in the exterior of the house.
Yes.
And you included all of the important statements told to you by witnesses.
Yes.
Your report was complete, true, and accurate.
Yes.
Now, on your way over to 2886 Mound Street, you actually got lost, right?
For a brief time, yes.
Okay. I have the beginning of your approach. I'd like to mark it as the defense is next in order.
Double O. What is it?
It's just the first few minutes of the approach that were clipped from the body worn.
So it's a DVD?
It's a DVD, yes. And I have a transcript here of just that excerpt. I'm not playing the entire video of his body worn.
Okay.
I'd like to mark the transcript 001.
Yes.
May I distribute? Yes, sir. I want to reach you.
Judge, you have a question in the audience? In the audience?
I got it.
Okay, you got it? Okay, very good. All right.
Creepo, what are you over there smiling at? Trying to understand. What are you smiling at? 8 years. This is an insane story. But this happens so often, ladies and gentlemen. It happens so often. This poor girl, what she went through. He was beating on her. She got order protection 2 times on him. You know, they need to do more about these order protections. You know, you should be able to renew them or possibility to get lifetime or whatever. But I guess every state is different. And you know, if I'm correct, the dates on it, the last order protection she had, well, the first one she got, I guess she was able to kind of like renew it. Is that what I'm trying to say? But then after that, they didn't. I think. I could be wrong. But let's get back to it. Make sure everybody hit the like.
Now, officer, the audio on your body worn doesn't turn on until about a minute in, right?
2 minutes.
Presenting Home Chef Oven Ready Meals.
So I'm hitting, I jumped forward a minute because this is when the audio turns on. So I'm hitting play at a minute 04. And this should also correspond with the beginning of the transcript. I'm going to approach and provide the transcripts to the officer if I may.
Yes.
Thank you.
Can't say I've ever been on Mountain Street before. Yeah, you might be right.
I'm hitting pause at a minute 35. So the perspective of the body worn video that we see is from you, right?
Correct.
And so you're the passenger and officer, and then is the driver.
Yes.
You see, they fist bump. Yeah, like Dwight when he sees them pick their up. Yeah, get it. Go get him, guys. Wait, so they always started fighting for marijuana. Did like people hear me or something? Oh yeah, there was illegal drugs found on this property. What is this? No. You know, like this is yeah. Marijuana is a very locked
316. So we heard kind of a bit of a conversation. Officer Edney was confident that he knew how to get there, right?
Correct.
You didn't know where Mount Street was.
Correct.
And Officer Edney believed that he could get there without using a map.
Yes.
This is God. It's got pretty pronounced. It's like, man, I saw that was like off of another street, right? It's like up and then over. Yeah. What is it? 2086? Yeah. I might have lost it. Oh, we're close. Hold on. I'll just say so for a second. You gotta go back down Ivar, make a left. You gotta go. Yeah. This is criminals? Yeah. Yeah, down on Ivar. Yeah. I should take it. And then you're gonna make a right on Longview, I think. Yeah, right. Shoot over down. This is it. And then Mount is gonna be on the first right. Yep. Hey, sir. How can I help you?
I heard it. She's screaming. She's going to the ground. I couldn't find my phone. I couldn't find anything.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so do you have access to here? Is there anybody else inside the house?
My roommate.
Just your roommate by yourself?
Yes. Dude, I heard screaming. I don't know if that guy had a gun or a knife. I came running trying to. I couldn't find my phone.
So is there somebody else inside?
Yes. I think there's.
Okay, sir, do me a favor.
All right, hidden pause at 626. So that was your approach to 2086 Mount Street, right?
Yes.
Now, I'd like to turn to People's 28 and just highlight a couple moments. And if I may, open it from a digital file that saved on my computer. And I'm going to be staying here at the council table because I'm going to be going to certain parts of the video. So, I'd like to go to when you first come around the corner into the patio. So I'm going to timestamp 6:10, and just for the clarity of the record, this is the actual time of the video, not what the body worn time says in the upper right hand corner. So this is the minute and second that is on the recording. So you come around, and you already addressed this on direct examination, but the actual time of the night is up in the upper right-hand corner. Now, it's not actually 9:30, it's 1:30.
Correct.
Okay. 1:30 in the morning. So I'm hitting play at 6:10. And I'm hitting pause at 6:18. So this is the first time that you and Officer Edney see this person who's on the patio, right?
Yes.
And the first thing that happens is Officer Edney walks up to her and gently touches her back to see if she responds.
Correct.
On direct, you testified that you were concerned that she might have some sort of neck or spinal injury, right?
Yes.
So you didn't want to move her.
Correct.
You didn't want to potentially make the situation worse.
Yes.
You wanted to leave any sort of medical intervention to the people who had adequate training, like the paramedics.
Yes.
So when Officer Edney touches her back, he doesn't like roll her over.
I'm not sure. I didn't touch her.
I'm gonna hit play here at 6:18.
Sir, come here. Relax. Take a seat. Take a seat.
Okay, so hitting pause at 6:26. So do you recall that moment when Officer Edney kind of goes up and gently pushes her back? You were there in the patio with him, right?
I was there, yes.
Okay, do you recall him kind of bending over and just gently seeing if she was responsive?
I don't recall him ever touching her. I do recall him speaking to her, though.
Okay. Would it refresh your recollection to watch a section of Officer Edney's body worn?
Possibly, yes.
May I approach?
Yes.
May I approach you?
Yes.
Can you see one?
I do. Yeah.
Did that refresh your recollection?
Yes.
So Officer Edney walks over and gently touches her with his left hand, right?
Yes.
And as you were saying, you know, there's concern that moving somebody too much might injure them.
Correct.
And so he didn't move her very much, or at all. He just kind of gently nudges her on her back, right?
Correct.
And his left hand is ungloved.
Correct.
So just so it's very clear, he doesn't roll her over.
Right, he's already stated all of that, Counsel.
Now, I have what I'd like to mark as defense PP 1 through 12, and these are body-worn snaps, like snapshots of body-worn video.
Go ahead.
May I approach?
Yes. Are you going to publish them first, or what? You know?
I'm going to lay foundation first.
Okay.
And then I'll publish. Can you please look at these both?
May I approach you?
Yes, of course.
Once you get here, you can look at them just so you can see them. Wait, approach?
Yes, I haven't seen.
These are just video snapshots.
So you're asking if he recognizes them?
Exactly.
Deb, are you there, Deb? I'm still kind of catching up. Now, I watched a little bit of today. Did they finish? Because I know that they record and then they come back later because the judge didn't want to be streamed live. But did they, did defense or prosecution close? Just let me know if you're still there. All right, let's resume.
Can you please review these and look up when you've reviewed them, please?
I mean, closed with witnesses.
you saw Miss Harwick in the patio when you came around the corner that night.
Did he answer? You recognized him? If he did, I didn't answer. I didn't hear it.
I haven't answered.
Okay, go ahead.
You saw Miss Harwick when you came around the corner to the patio that night, right?
Yes.
And are these defense PP 1 through 12? Are these accurate depictions of the way she appeared when you first saw her?
Yes.
So I'd like to publish defense PP 11. So her right arm is beneath her torso. Is that correct?
Yes.
And her left arm is like in an L shape with her hand going above her head.
Correct.
Her, she's face down, right?
Yes.
And her head is turned so that her chin is approximately 6 to 10 inches away from her right shoulder.
Yes.
Publishing defense TP 8. This is a different angle. So it appears that she has a necklace, right?
Yes.
And there's blood that is beneath her head, right?
Yes.
And the timestamp on this screenshot is 1:33 and 43 seconds, right?
Yes.
And you first came around the corner into the patio at 1:30, approximately 3 minutes before that.
Yes.
Publishing defense PP 6. Now this is, first of all, light and the reflection is awful. There we go, it's a little better. So this is a very dark photograph, and it's kind of hard to make out exactly what's going on, but this is another angle of Miss Harwick on the patio, right?
Yes.
And again, this is how she appeared to you when you first encountered her.
Yes.
Publishing defense PP 5. Let's see if I can get the glare to not be so bad. Now, this is Officer Edney's ungloved right hand holding something, right?
Yes.
Publishing defense TP 4. This is just a different angle of her in the patio, as you encountered it, correct?
Yes.
And this is from right, under a minute after you round the bend. This is at 1:30 and 52 seconds, right?
Yes.
Publishing defense PP3. This is from 1:30 and 38 seconds, and this is how she appeared as you approached her right after coming around the corner of the house, right?
Yes.
And that's Michael Furman in front of you, right?
Yes, it is.
Publishing defense TP1. This is just a screenshot from 8 seconds earlier, another angle of how she appeared to you as you first approached.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Did we get a response?
Yes, the response was yes.
Thank you.
So all of the screenshots I showed you, actually you've already asked or answered that question. So once you
Deb, I found out the reason why. This is strange. Like I said, it's so short. Love it though. I kind of love it, but I know they're not supposed to. But it's because if I'm correct, the judge doesn't want it streamed live. So I guess all the camera people's there. They recording it and they upload it the next day. So we're kind of like behind the way they doing it because the judge doesn't want it streamed live. So they cutting out all the lunch breaks, all the little breaks, and all this. When you take all that stuff away, the trial is completely shorter. I think that's what it is because the judge didn't want to stream live. All right, let's get back to it.
you see Ms. Harwick on the patio and talk to Mr. Herman, you decided you needed to clear the house.
Yes.
And the goal of clearing the house is to make sure that there's no one inside.
Correct.
Your top priority at that time, within minutes of arriving, is to make sure that it's safe there.
Yes.
You want to make sure there's no threat to responding officers.
Correct.
You want to make sure that there's no threat to the paramedics who were about to be on their way.
Yes.
Redundant.
Redundant.
Deb, I was thinking the same thing too, because I was like, why is it so short? And then when I'm, doing this live stream, I'm like, this is crazy. And then when I was watching it today, that's what they said, remember that the judge or whoever was the, whatever, they just said that, remember the judge didn't want to stream live. So we seen it the next day. So I guess it's kind of good because you get cut off all that other stuff, like the breaks and everything and the lunch break. All right, back to it.
Well, repetitive and ask and answer.
Well, I think he's naming different personnel and different reasons, so I'll go ahead and give him some leeway a little bit. But
So just the point is that when you're going to go clear the house, the goal for you is safety.
Yes, it is.
However, from the very beginning, you felt like there was something off with the situation, right?
Yes.
You saw the blood on Mr. Herman's shirt.
Yes.
And you felt that there was something potentially going on, right?
Yes.
So let's talk about clearing the house. And I'm not going to go through the whole video again. I'm just going to highlight a couple moments. So first, Officer Edney goes into Mr. Herman's room, right?
Yes.
He finds his keys.
Yes.
Officer Edney then goes around the side of the house to open the gate for the other officers who are going to come.
I believe so, yes.
So the first place you clear is that ground floor that had Mr. Herman's bedroom.
Yes.
You had a flashlight in your hand.
Yes.
You first clear that ground floor, and then you go back out to the patio, right?
Yes.
Then you do a call out into the house to see if anyone's there.
Yes.
And a call out is when you say, LAPD, come out with your hands up, and if somebody inside, give them a chance to surrender.
Correct.
So I'm now going to People's Exhibit, I believe it's 20.
What Charlie does to go 1 block to get a chicken sandwich.
I'm Chardonnay, and this is my puppy Cinnamon.
I'm going back to People's Exhibit 28. Okay, I'm at timestamp 8:50. Hitting pause at 8:53. So at about 1:33 in the morning, the other officers arrive, right?
Yes.
And you were standing outside of Mr. Herman's room, and you heard voices, but you couldn't sure if it was just the TV that was on or not, right?
Correct.
You make a plan with the other responding officers.
Yes.
The other officers who were assisting you clearing the house were Officer Sweeney.
Correct.
Podowski.
Podkowski, yes.
Oh, sorry. Podkowski. Edney.
Yes.
Cornejo.
No, I'm not familiar with any.
So, in total, there were 4 officers who took part initially in clearing the house.
Yes.
Going to timestamp 9:44 and hitting play.
No, these 2 rooms are clear already. I hear voices, but I can't see them.
So you first enter the house around hitting pause at 9:51. You first enter the house around at 1:34 a.m. Sorry, you first go upstairs at 1:34 a.m. Right?
Yes.
And that's about 4 minutes after arriving at the patio.
Correct.
Now, the first thing you do is you clear the kitchen, right?
We cleared the downstairs first.
I'd like to go to timestamp 10:06.
You cover this
and I'm hitting pause at 10:07. So your left hand there at this point in time does not have a glove on it, correct?
Correct.
Hitting play at 10:07.
Okay, you cover straight ahead. Got it? I'm going. Hey, be advised, there's a lot of dummies. All right, let's clear this. Hey, Gordo, come with us, dude. You guys hold that, okay? Or Podcast, you hold that. Sneak 'em.
Hitting pause at 10:30. You mentioned another officer, Cordero?
Cordero, that's Officer Sweeney's first name.
That's Officer Sweeney's first name?
Yes.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take a 15-minute break, if you would, please.
See, watch, Deb, how it goes real quick. Because they delete all of that. Well, it's going to go quick. Well, I'm going to make it go faster.
The forecast is the prosecution intends to arrest sometime around midday, okay? We'll move forward from there. You may continue your examination, Counselor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay, so your body worn is paused at 10:07, and your left hand is in the screen there. At this time, it does not have a glove, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'd like to jump forward to 10:45 and hit play.
It loops around. It's gonna go down to the staircase. It goes out back outside. Back down to that.
Hitting pause at 10:57. So that's you pushing the door open with your left hand to the kitchen, right?
Correct.
I could jump forward to 12:26. Actually, 12:22. So this is you and the other officers about to clear the third floor, right?
Yes.
And is that which officer is that who's in the lead there with his left foot on the step?
It's Officer Podkowski.
So that's Officer Podkowski, and you can see that he doesn't have gloves on, right?
Correct.
Come on, you two.
Hitting pause at 12:34, and the officer that was immediately in front of you as you entered the bathroom, which officer was that?
Officer Sweeney.
And this is you pushing the door open, right?
Yes.
Hitting pause at 12:30. So this is pushing the door open with your left hand and pulling the shower curtain with your left hand back, right?
Yes.
I'd like to go to 13:15. Now, this is inside of the closet that's off of Miss Harwick's bedroom, right?
Yes.
Hitting play.
That's super nice.
Hitting pause there at 13:21. So that was one of the officers touching the drawer in her closet with an ungloved hand.
Believe so, yes.
Now, you go out to the balcony. I'm going to jump. Actually, I'll just play here.
It's clear here. See it?
Hitting pause. So you go out to the balcony. This is the first time that you go out to the balcony at about 1:37 and 50 seconds, right?
You know, defense is starting to give me a headache. What are you leading to? What are you trying to prove? The cop didn't have gloves on. Oh boy. Defense have a hard job, but they grasping for straws. This is what defense has to do. They know clear as day that this man did it. And they tell him, take a plea bargain. Take a plea bargain. You better off doing that. No. These crazy ones. No. I didn't do it. I'm innocent. Really? Let's get back to it.
Yes.
Going to 14:30. This is you going out to the balcony a second time, right?
Yes.
Hitting play.
See, that is. Oh, dude. So. It's code 4 for now, sir.
Okay, so at hitting pause at 14:50, you announced to Sergeant Deneen, to code 4, sir, right?
Yes.
Code 4 means that it's clear.
Correct.
Once you announce, and so that would be at 1:39 and 11 seconds, right?
Yes.
And after you announce code 4, you continue looking around the rooms of the house, right?
Yes.
Jumping forward to 16:20. Actually, 16:18. So this is you going out to the balcony a third time, right?
Yes.
Now, once the house is clear, you go back downstairs to the patio, right?
Yes.
And then you realize that you should probably get Miss Harwick's ID, so you go back upstairs to look for her identification, right?
Yes.
And at that point, other officers had opened the front door, right?
Yes.
So going to 23 timestamp 23:40. Hitting play at 23:38. Okay, so hitting pause at 23:47. This is you looking for her identification, right?
Yes.
Hitting play. Hitting pause at 24:02. So you're looking for her identification with an ungloved hand at that time, right?
Yes.
Going to timestamp 30:10.
He said he was going to door knock, so he's not there. Yeah. We need another unit to clear out here. So we're going to go upstairs and check around a little bit.
Hitting pause. So at timestamp 30:21 and the hour of 1:54 a.m., you and Officer Edney go back upstairs to look around some more.
Yes.
Going to 31:02.
Yeah, I can tell you, it's sticky. Beads, this is urine.
Hitting pause at 31:06. Now, did you hear the sound of something like hard hitting before?
You mean from this video?
Yes.
No, I didn't.
I'll go back. So going to 30:58.
This is urine. Yeah, I can tell you, it's sticky. Beads, this is urine.
Alright, so did you hear that time?
I did, yes.
Vegas to hitting the floor. Vegas to hitting the floor foundation.
I can rephrase. Did you hear a sound in the background of that video?
Yes.
Was that the sound of one of those beads hitting another surface?
Possibly.
And
Foundation.
Well, he said possibly. He didn't conclusively state that it was.
Now
You did hear the sound.
Yes, sir, I did.
Okay, it'll stand.
And you saw what you previously described as beads, I believe, right?
Yes, sir.
And based on what you saw the beads to be made out of, they could have made that sound if you or Officer Eddie had kicked it into the molding or something. Kind of like for speculation.
Sustain. Rephrase your question.
I think I don't need to.
Okay.
Now, in that exchange that we just listened to between you and Officer Edney, you said that the substance you saw on the ground was urine, right?
Yes.
And Officer Edney isn't sure, right?
He doesn't appear to be sure.
Going to 31:20.
Yeah.
Actually, I'd like to just go back a little to 31:09.
Defense is really getting on my nerves. I don't understand, what is he leading to? Does anybody know? Share it in the comment section. Whoever's watching replay, when you watch replay, share it. What is he leading to? I think I'm gonna have to fast forward some because I'm getting a headache on this because I don't see what he's leading to. I don't get it. I really just don't get it. All right, let's get back to it.
Shower,
Yeah, when there's no clothing. Zero research.
what? Yeah. Pretty sure.
Hitting pause at 31:30. So that is Officer Eddie moving something on the ground. It looks like a jacket.
Yes.
He first moves it with his foot, right?
Yes.
And then he picks it up with his left hand and kind of examines it and then puts it down in a way that it was not before.
Yes.
Going to timestamp minute 37. Hitting pause at 37:02. Or sorry, hitting play at 37:02.
See there. I'll be able to get a higher.
Oh, sorry, I had a mistake on that time. Going to minute 32. Hitting play at 32.
Oh, hold on. Oh, see, I would get over it.
So, you see the phone on her bed, right?
Yes.
And you put a glove on, right?
Yes.
And your partner, Officer Eddie, tells you he'd already touched it and flipped it over, right?
Yes.
You look at the phone and you see that there are notifications from Google Nest, right?
Correct.
Now, a push notification is a type of notification that goes onto the screen of a locked phone where you can see kind of like a snippet of the message, right?
Yes.
And to your knowledge, Google Nest is a home security system.
Yes.
So an app can send you those push notifications even if your phone is in a locked setting, right?
Yes.
Foundation. Are you surmising that, sir? Are you speculating? Is that, do you know for a fact?
To the best of my knowledge, yes.
Okay, then I will.
Okay, I had to fast forward that one. We get into the next person that's on the stand. Resume.
Back in this matter, people, you may call your next witness.
Yes, people call Dr. Alan Wu to the stand.
All right.
Okay, Dr. Alan Wu.
You could raise your right hand.
Do you solemnly state that the testimony you're about to give in the cause now pending before this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do swear. Thank you. Please have a seat. Please state and spell both your first and last name.
Alan Wu, ALANWU.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please tell the jury what it is that you do for a living.
I am a professor of laboratory medicine at the University of California, San Francisco, and I am one of the laboratory directors at the Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital.
And can you briefly describe your education for this position?
I have bachelor's degrees in chemistry and biology, a doctoral degree, PhD degree from the University of Illinois in analytical chemistry, and postdoctoral training in clinical chemistry.
Can you briefly describe your training experience in chemistry?
Well, I'm trained to operate clinical laboratories in hospitals and medical centers.
And how many years have you been doing that?
41.
And are you the chief clinical chemistry toxicology laboratories of San Francisco General Hospital?
Now called the Zuckerberg San Francisco General Hospital, yes.
And do you hold any licenses or certifications?
I'm licensed by the American Board of Clinical Chemistry in both clinical chemistry and toxicological chemistry, and by the state of California for clinical chemistry.
Since when?
My American Board licensure dates to 1982 and 1983, and my California license dates to 2005, the year after I arrived in California.
And do you hold any positions in any advisory committees?
I am a member of the Medical Advisory Committee for the Northern California Poison Control Center.
What does that entail, being a member of that committee?
It is an advisory committee for the Poison Center itself, who receives calls and cases from families, from doctors, from nurses about patients and subjects who have been exposed to poisons and toxicological substances.
And is your laboratory accredited?
Yes.
Accredited so far as what?
It is accredited by the Health and Human Services Centers for Medicare and Medicaid as a high complexity clinical laboratory.
What is that clinical laboratory?
Well, it's the highest level of certification that HHS grants. It allows us to do testing that is above and beyond automated procedures.
And back in May of 2002, did LAPD detectives contact you to conduct analysis on an...
Hey, Vinny, where'd you get that shirt?
A sticker bill. Where do you think I got it?
And did they ask you whether you can determine the quantity of nicotine, the purity of nicotine in that vial?
Yes.
And did you indicate that you could do that?
Yes.
And how would you be able to do that?
We mutate levels of drugs, poisons, and toxins and chemicals found in various fluids.
And what type of instruments do you use to do that?
In our particular situation, we use high resolution time of flight, liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry.
And is that a generally accepted method of using that instrument to conduct that type of analysis?
You need to clarify what type of analysis are you referring to?
For the purity of the nicotine.
Use this instrument for other types of biological fluids. We have also used it to determine purity, but that is not what we normally do.
But you're able to do it?
Yes. I did.
Okay. And these are reports related to her analysis back in August of 25th, 2020. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe that Dr. Bradley was is an analyst at the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia.
Okay. And you read her notes on her analysis of the liquid? You can answer that.
Yes, I did.
Including that she determined that the liquid was nicotine.
That is correct.
He's testifying as an expert in this category, in this field. You can rely on reports and hearsay.
And you took that into consideration for your analysis too?
Yes, I read her reports, and we followed some of the procedures that she used in generating her report 2 years earlier.
And sometime around May 2nd, 2002, did you receive an item 66, 2 vials?
Yes.
Did you take a picture of the envelope of item number 66?
Yes.
I actually have a one-page photograph and just the amount of people's next in order, people's number 60. Yes.
Very interesting. He looks up. He knows he's looking up. He's paying attention. Very interesting. He really is a creep. I really like to know what he was like as a child. His past relationships. Other women before this woman. Been a creep all his life. Your mama know it. Your daddy know it. But they might be enablers, so they won't admit to it. Or they might be like, he probably got rid of you a long time ago. Don't want to be bothered. Alright, back to it.
Okay, here at people 60, do you see that photograph?
Yes, I do.
Did you take that photograph?
Yes.
And the number 66 for the item number?
It's not well written. The first 6 could be construed as an 8, but I believe with other documents that is number 66.
And it's a package with an Amie Harwick and a DI number of 2006-06220.
Correct.
Now, when you received these 2 vials, you didn't know where these vials came from.
Well, I knew they came from ultimately the laboratory at Quantico that had been sent to the LAPD evidence desk, don't know the official name. So it ultimately came from the LAPD, but I think the origin was the Quantico Laboratory.
Yes, and that's based on your review of Dr. Bradley's notes.
Correct.
Okay. And so you received these 2 vials for item 66, and you tested them.
I did.
And how did you test them?
Using the aforementioned instrumentation.
And what did you determine as far as item 66?
There was no compounds of interest found in it. It appeared to be just perhaps liquid water. There was nothing in it.
Okay. And did you contact LAPD to let them know that?
I did.
And did they send you something else?
And I believe one of the people I spoke to was
Masterson?
Yes.
Okay.
And he went through the records and concluded that the LAPD evidence office had sent the wrong vial.
Did they then send you the vials for item 21?
They did.
And did you take photographs of that package?
Yes.
You know, I have another piece of PPD. Hey, do you recognize what's shown there?
It's a photograph that I took.
And this is for a package within item 21?
It's correct. It's listed in 2 places. The one just to the left also says item, and then it says 35 crossed out, and some date and initial, the best I can see. And then written to the right of that is again item number 21.
Now, did you receive this package sometime around July 11th, 2002?
Yes, that would be roughly 2 months after I received item number 66 through the same LAPD.
And you see this number here, the sticker on People's 61A, which it's a sticker that has a labeling packaging A1 2020-00954 number 1.
I see that.
Okay, is that a lab report number for the FBI that was used by Dr. Bradley in analyzing a liquid from a syringe that was provided to her?
I believe so. I compared her notes, handwritten notes, as well as the written report on her analysis of this material, and those numbers appear to agree.
Looking at page B of this exhibit, did you take photographs of the contents of that envelope that we just showed the jury?
Yes.
And can you tell us what is shown here?
Well, there's 2 things in this particular photograph. One is an outer envelope, or rather outer sleeve, which when I received the evidence contained the syringe inside the sleeve. I opened it, documented that I had done this, pulled it out so that I could show what the syringe looked like, and then took a picture of both the syringe and the outer cover.
And looking at photograph C, is this a close-up of that syringe?
It is the same syringe and outer casing with the syringe inside.
And was there also a vial in that package?
There was.
And you take a photograph of that?
I did.
And is that here on people's photograph D of this exhibit?
Yes, it is.
And turn this around, zooming in on the labeling on the vial on photograph D. Does that have the FBI lab number 2020-00954 and then item 1 on the vial?
So I can ascertain the photo is a little bit illegible with the second digit of the 00. That is in fact the second digit. It is 2020-00954. And then the first word underneath is the word item. The letter I is a little bit obscured because of the angle that the photograph was taken, but I can assure you, or I can ascertain that this in fact was labeled item 1.
And this is the item 1 as labeled in Dr. Bradley's notes for what she generated?
Correct.
So what exactly did you test at this point at your laboratory?
The contents of that vial.
And how did you do that?
We took out a small amount of the contents of that vial, here syringe. We put it onto a balance, a weighing device. We determined we withdrew approximately 100 microliters, weighed it, and then from that point on, performed analysis.
And can you just briefly explain to the jury, what is that analysis? What does that analysis entail?
Well, the first thing that we have to do is to dilute the sample, because our instruments are highly sensitive. We can see specks full of drugs that can't be seen by the visible eye. If you're going to take 100 microliters of what we thought was a reasonably pure material, this would have overloaded our instrument by 1,000,000-fold. So we had to dilute the liquid content that we obtained from that vial in 2 serial dilutions to the extent that it was diluted 1,000,000-fold, 10 to the 6th.
And what was the result of that?
I'm sorry, what was the result of the
What was the
delusion?
result of your analysis?
Well, that was just the preparatory analysis. We then had to do the instrumentation analysis, which consisted of first ensuring that the instrument was correctly calibrated with known standards, making sure that the instrument was clean, that there was the necessary quality controls that we put in there to demonstrate that the instrument was operational. We determined that there was no carryover from any existing samples. So the first step, prior to touching anything from this evidence, was to calibrate the instrument.
And was that done?
Yes.
And you said you used a standard. What do you mean by that?
A standard is a material that we purchase that is certified by the manufacturer of that material to be what it says it to be, as well as the content and purity of the standard itself. So these are things that are documented prior to us using them.
Okay, what standard did you use in this case?
Nicotine.
At what purity level?
The purity level indicated by the manufacturer was greater than 99.9%.
And did you, as an expert, did you believe that to be reliable, that the standard was 99% pure nicotine?
We don't verify the purity, that's beyond the scope of our work, but we've never had an issue with a substandard material.
And then, did you continue your analysis?
Once the instrument was calibrated, I might mention that this is a step that the FBI lab does not do, which was the reason that we were engaged in this work. They do not do quantitative analysis. And so we were asked to provide a quantitative analysis of the content in item number 1. It was required that we calibrate the instrument. Once the instrument was calibrated to our satisfaction, we injected the sample.
And then what happened?
Once the result has been completed, which takes about an hour, all told, including the calibration, we look at the instrument printouts and we evaluate the contents for 2 things. Number 1, what is it, and what degree of confidence do we have that it is what we think it is, i.e. nicotine. So before doing any type of calculation, we wanted to be sure that we were dealing with, in fact, the chemical in question, because it had not been the chemical in question, such as what we saw for item number 66, there was no point going any further.
And what did the printouts show you on this occasion?
We were able to demonstrate that this material was, in fact, nicotine to above the acceptance criteria that we have in the laboratory.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to fast forward some to get to the next person that was on the stand. And after that, I will end it. All right, let me find it. It's going to be mute for a second. Let me find it. I think I got it.
All right, Detective, if you could approach the witness stand, please. Down here. You could raise your right hand, face my clerk here.
You solemnly state that the testimony you're about to give in the cause now pending before this court should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Thank you. Have a seat. Please state and spell both your first and last name.
Brian Wetzel, B-R-I-A-N, last name W-H-E-T-S-E-L.
Can I have a moment?
Yeah.
All right. Please tell the jury what it is that you do for a living.
I'm sorry?
Please tell the jury what it is that you do for a living.
I'm a police detective supervisor for the Los Angeles Police Department. I'm currently assigned to Gang and Narcotics Division, and I'm a supervisor for the LAPD FBI Fugitive Task Force.
And how many years have you been a police officer?
30 years.
And how many years have you been a detective?
Approximately 14, 16 years.
Drawing your attention to the date of February 15, 2020, what was your assignment back on that date?
I was a detective supervisor for the Gang and Narcotics Division, LAPD, FBI Fugitive Task Force.
And as part of that task force, were you assigned to arrest a Gareth Pursehouse on February 15, 2020, sometime after 4 p.m.?
February 15th on 2020, but it was, yes, we started the operation at approximately 14:30 hours, which would be at 2:30 p.m.
Okay. And how many members were part of this task force?
That day, I had approximately, I believe, 8 other detectives out there with me.
And what information did you receive in an attempt to arrest Mr. Gareth Pursehouse?
As far as
like photographs, how would you recognize them? What kind of vehicle he drove?
Yeah, so we conducted a briefing prior to doing the operation, at which time Mr. Pursehouse was identified, and we had a photo of him through his California ID photo, and then physical descriptors as long as his description of his vehicle.
Right. And his DMV photo, did it include a description of his height and weight?
Yes.
Do you remember what that height and weight was?
I believe it's approximately 6 feet 4 inches, about 230 pounds.
And so you were looking, and you also had a picture of Mr. Pursehouse.
Yes, that's correct.
And did you know what kind of vehicle he drove at that time?
Yes.
And what kind of vehicle were you told he drove at that time?
It was a 2017 Lexus 4-door red. I believe the license was 8 Adam George Sam 266.
And I have a photograph, an exhibit with 3 photographs showing a red vehicle. May this be marked people's next in order?
Yeah, 62.
62 photographs, A, B, and C. And that photograph A, of people 62. Do you recognize that vehicle?
Yes.
How do you recognize that?
That's the same vehicle that Mr. Pursehouse was arrested in that day when he was driving the vehicle away.
And where did you and your task force arrest Mr. Gareth Pursehouse?
We conducted a surveillance at his residence, a record of the address on his California ID with the 8148 Cabrera.
Cabrera Drive?
Yes.
In the city of Playa del Rey?
Yes.
I have a map, Your Honor, here showing the address of 8148 Cabrera Drive. And this remarked as People 63?
Yes.
Looking at People 63, until the jury was shown there.
It's an aerial photo of depicting 8148 Cabrera Drive.
Is that the address you have for defendant Gareth Pursehouse?
Yes.
And I have a photograph showing a close-up of a garage and Cabrera Street. May this remark people's next in order, number 64, A and B?
Yes.
Looking at 64A, you recognize what's shown there?
Yes, that's the garage associated with that address, and it's the garage facing, leading out onto Cabrera Street.
Looking at photograph B of this exhibit, can you tell us what is shown there?
Well, if you look at, that's the intersection of Cabrera and Sinaloa Drive.
Looking at photograph 63, People 63?
Yes.
It's Sinaloa shown here and Cabrera.
Yes.
And so about what time did you arrive at the defendant's address?
We started conducting surveillance approximately 14:30 hours.
So 2:30 p.m.?
2:30 p.m. Yes.
So when you say you started conducting surveillance, what does that mean?
Well, we set up an attempt to locate the suspect. We believe that was the address of record for him, so we set up on location the event that he would exit, at which time we would take him into custody.
Okay. So did you have vehicles at different locations on different streets near his address?
Yes.
And at some point, did you notice a vehicle exiting that garage depicted on People 64A?
Yeah, so during the surveillance, it was put out that the suspect had exited and moved a bike in front of the garage door, and then he entered the vehicle and was exiting the garage, and then started to pull away westbound on Cabrera.
Did anybody notice whether there was any other passenger with him at the time that he entered the vehicle?
Yes, I saw another passenger with him.
Can you describe this other person?
It was a female white wearing a white sweatshirt.
Did you later make contact with this white female?
Yes.
And looking here at a photograph with the name of Judice Angelina, this remark people's next in order, number
65.
65. You see that there, that DV photo?
Yes.
Is that the person you later identified as the passenger in Mr. Purse's car on the date of his arrest?
Yes.
And so you mentioned that defendant Pursehouse got into his vehicle, is that correct?
Yes.
And did the woman also get into the vehicle?
Yes, when I saw her, she was in the vehicle.
And just to go back to 62A, looking at photograph B, is this a picture of the back of the vehicle with the license plate number of 8AGS266?
Yes.
Looking at photograph C, is that a picture of the left side of the vehicle?
Correct, the driver's side.
And back to 63. So what happened after they were seen entering that red vehicle?
So the vehicle pulled away out of the garage and began driving westbound Cabora Drive, at which I ordered that we were going to initiate a stop of the vehicle.
And it was a vehicle approaching Sinaloa Road?
Yes.
And so what, can you explain to the jury what happened at that point?
So as they were driving westbound towards Sinaloa on Cabora, as they approached the intersection, I had vehicles pre-staged, at which time we initiated a traffic stop right at the intersection of Cabora and Sinaloa.
Okay, and during this traffic stops, were guns drawn?
Yes.
And why is that?
Because it was a felony stop of a murder suspect.
And so at that point, you don't know if the person's armed or what the situation is?
Yeah, that's correct.
And was he taken out of his vehicle without incident?
Yes.
Was there any struggle with him at all?
No.
Did anybody touch him in any way? Anybody hit him or do anything like that to him?
No, he was cooperative and was taken into custody without incident.
So nobody.
Okay, I fast forward some more. I think this is the clip when he gets arrested. And then I'll end after this. Yeah. Just a few more minutes here. Let's watch it.
All right. Publishing RR3. So this is Mr. Pursehouse, right?
Yes, correct.
And then is that a detective or an FBI agent?
FBI agent.
All right. So this FBI agent has on.
Again, counsel, this is the third attempt at we talked at sidebar. You're presenting what was at the scene, and let's approach again.
Defense really does annoy the judge. Oh well.
Okay, counsel, yes, go ahead.
Thank you. So all of the detectives and the one FBI agent had on vests, right?
Yes.
So these were bulletproof vests, right?
Yes. Tactical body armor, yes.
And at least a couple of the detectives had large rifles.
What you would call long guns, I guess?
Yes.
All right.
The only individuals that had on body worn were the officers who responded after the arrest.
Yes, that's correct.
So there's actually no video from the arrest itself.
Not to my knowledge.
To effectuate the arrest, the entire street in that intersection was completely shut down, right?
It was blocked. But you're, again, which street?
Cabora, where Cabora and Sinaloa meet, and we watched the video that Mr. Avila played, and it showed. I don't want to take the time to play it again, but it showed multiple cars that were parked and blocking ingress and egress for 100 yards or so, going down east on Cabora towards where Cabora and Sinaloa meet.
Yes.
And towards the end, an airship arrived.
Yes.
An airship is the term that law enforcement uses to describe a helicopter.
Was our air support? Yes.
Air support, yeah. Now, you were not... Mr. Avila asked you about whether any of the actions taken during the arrest caused any bruises or abrasions. You were not the one who arrested him, like physically, right? It was Detective Hidalgo.
Yes, in my presence.
How far away were you?
I was in my vehicle, so probably within 10 to 20 feet.
You were in your vehicle.
No.
Did you exit your vehicle while the arrest was occurring?
Yes, I never said I was sitting in my vehicle during the arrest. I was out of my vehicle.
You were out of your vehicle?
Yes.
I misheard you.
And I was present during the arrest.
10 to 20 feet away from Detective Hidalgo.
No, from the defendant.
Detective Hidalgo was the one who effectuated the arrest.
Yes. Are you talking about when he placed handcuffs on him?
Yes.
Oh, I was probably closer than that then. During the when he placed handcuffs on him, I was closer than that.
How many?
Probably within 5 to 10 feet.
How many detectives physically detained him to put handcuffs on him?
I believe Detective Hidalgo was the only one that placed handcuffs on him. Maybe one additional person assisted with holding his arm while he placed handcuffs on.
You testified that the arrest occurred without incident, right?
Yes.
He was compliant.
Yes.
And he obeyed orders.
Yes.
He told you where his keys were.
Objection. Hearsay.
I think you testified that he was cooperative. Was that correct?
That's correct. He was
Part of his
cooperative.
cooperation. Did he tell you where his keys were?
I don't believe I was. I'm not sure if I was the one asking him for his keys.
Okay. All right, sure.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end here. I just wanted to do clips of this one and show the different things. But basically, it's the officer, I guess, that arrested him, you know, saying that he was cooperative and everything and all that good stuff. This man is a big-time creep. What a shame. And there was also some other videos that I did find, and I'm going to show those about with her and what she was going through. And when they weren't together in a relationship, he was beating on this woman. She couldn't take it, and she got out. She did the right thing. She got out the relationship, and she also, you know, got an order of protection. I would just like to know how long was the relationship, and how did they meet? And one time I heard that they was living together, but not that I'm hearing not. So I have to do a little bit more to find out about this. But what a shame. 8 years you got rid of this dude. Met another one, was engaged to. But that didn't work out or whatever. And then this creep comes back. And look at him, just sits in the courtroom with no expression. But he did pay attention when that guy was on the stand talking about the nicotine, I'm saying right, whatever. Very interesting. Alright, so ladies and gentlemen, make sure you hit the like if you didn't hit the like. Share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section. And like I said, stay tuned for some more of Donna Just Being Real. But this is an interesting story. So sad. You have to live your life all this time scared like this. No one should not have to live in fear. Not at all. Alright, remember, date smart, not thirsty. Bye. Adios.